Hello, my name is also Juan. Well, it's actually just Juan, but I'm also Juan. What I mean to say is my name is Juan too. Don't say three. That's an old joke. But in my village, the Dave and Juan would be known as also Juan because, hey, it's my village. Get your own village, Mr. Pankerville. Anyway, here is Dave and Juan. The other Juan, not me. That is their loss.
Not a bunch, man. Not a bunch. Just chilling, working hard.
21.
21, man. It's like being of age. Yeah, we can have
podcast reaches drinking age.
Hey, yeah.
Today, there you go.
Well, in today's drinking age, because back in my day, it was like 16.
Back in was it? No, it wasn't. Well,
you started not legally,
not legally. My stuff. By the way,
yeah.
we got one job to do early. Hi, everybody. How you doing? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
There you go.
16 was the age where you could buy beer in the podium. So
you could buy beer, really?
Not legally, but that's just when you
had to know how to do it.
Yeah, that's when they didn't care anymore.
And different times. Different times.
Don't do that, kids. Not a good thing.
When I was a kid, I know 10, 12 years old, Arthur Dufresne Supermarket. Love me my Arthur Dufresne Supermarket, front of our street. I'd go pick up a carton of cigarettes from my dad. There wasn't drinking. My parents didn't drink, so I never bought anything. But yeah, they knew you.
Yeah.
Right. Be sort of like that. Man, we know Dave don't smoke. We know that's for his dad.
And just to tell you, or just to illustrate how different it is, my son that's in college now, he waited for years until he turned 18 because my mother smoked for a long time and then quit. And he had vowed that the day he turned 18, he was going to the store to buy a pack of cigarettes for his granny to bring it to her house.
Okay. All right. That's kind of cool.
And my mother passed away over 2 years ago, but that pack of cigarettes is still on a little pedestal sitting on the windowsill.
That's a touching and slightly odd.
Yeah, not so.
like cigarette. Look, different times, and I don't even. It's one of those things. I don't judge. I like the people. It's whatever. I prefer.
You do you.
Yeah, I can't say that I miss being in a car with someone smoking. That was never. You kind of got used to it, back in the day. You just did. It was everywhere. It's funny now to watch old TV shows, old anything. People just lighting up. Like that's what you did.
I watched, I don't know, it's probably a year or two ago, just flipping through channels, which, here on cable, there's always, I don't know what crepey skin is, but, apparently people need to tighten it up because there's a lot of shows about tightening crepey skin and saggy boobs. So
I don't know what you're watching. You can tell a lot about yourself and your demographic by the commercials.
I'm just flipping through channels, man.
Okay.
Just flipping through on the, I guess the little, whatever you call it, the infomercials.
Okay.
But anyway, so came across the movie The Birds.
Wow. That's.
And I don't know if you've watched that ever or recently.
No, not recently, but
I don't think I had watched it at all since I was a kid. But just to see how bad the graphics were to begin with, where it looks like, you had to have somebody holding a fake bird doing this. Yeah. And that's about how good it looked. But there was so many gratuitous smoking scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Where people are smoking for nothing. And the guy's in the bar and he just goes up to get change and then goes to a vending machine to buy a cigarette.
Well, and we know this all these years later that, Hollywood has been selling out forever. I mean, Hollywood's always, but we've learned later that, cigarette companies paid to have
Right. It's the original product placement stuff.
Because the one that gets me, but it lasted a long time, because if you watch the movie Die Hard, okay, which is a Christmas movie, by the way, you can argue that all you want. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I mean, so the premise, everybody knows Die Hard, what's going on. So he's hiding. He's got terrorists in that building, and he's trying not to get caught. So of course he's going to light up a cigarette more than once.
Sure, man.
Right. Yeah. Of course. That's it's funny. I'm watching this and like I'm almost ready to believe all this other nonsense. All this other, it's great to watch, and it's always funny. Those are the things that pull me back. Like
running through glass, no big deal. I could buy that.
You're lighting up a cigarette. Oh yeah. I'm gonna shoot. Well, that's. Yeah, you gotta suspend belief and go with it. But I thought about you this week just because I guess when I find myself complaining about stuff, I'm like, this is like a Juan thing.
Thanks, man. That's great.
It's all good, man. This is like therapy. This is our therapy session. You kind of get it, gotta kind of talk and get it out. And because I'm that old guy that walks around saying, when did this happen? When did this become something? When did this become? And we've talked about some of these things. So our cat. I shouldn't say I guess it's our cat. It's my cat. My wife will tell me that's my cat. I'm the person that insisted on adopting it. And I don't like cats. I think we've talked about this. I'm not a cat person, but this is my cat. And once you're on Team Martin, I got you. So
you're there forever.
Yeah. So, and she's not a bad cat. She's just not, she just, I guess it's a good survival instinct. She's not very affectionate at all. She's not a lap cat. She basically doesn't sweat you. She doesn't, not particularly interested in whether you want to pet her or not. In fact, would prefer you didn't. That kind of, but anyway, she had a vet visit, and a couple things that made me. Now I had something I would normally bring her, but I had some stuff going on, and thankfully my wife had, she didn't have to go to work till late, so she took the cat. First of all, I don't know, shots, whatever. What do you think? What do you think? Just a checkup cat visit runs.
Oh, probably as much as a visit for you. I'm guessing
$180.
Yeah.
$180 for a cat. Whatever. I think she got a rabies booster.
$3 for the cat. $180 for the visit.
Okay, so that was just whatever, and but that's fine. Just think back to the days when we never brought a cat to the vet ever.
No,
ever. You just assume cats are cats. It's going to be, but, and then apparently going through the checkup, and my wife saying that, and it wasn't our normal vet, which has got to be the best gig going. I think it might be tougher to get into vet school than med school these days. Seriously. I mean, vets knock it down. They're doing well. And it was a young woman who, she hadn't seen her before, so she might've been new, and talking about doing whatever and giving my wife advice with the cat. And she said, you're just telling us like, oh, does it go, it goes outside? My wife's like, yeah, the cat, we let her out. She does her stuff. She sleeps inside. She kind of comes and goes. And she was like, oh, they're so much safer inside. Well, judgment call, right? Just like, they're so much safer inside. My wife's like, yeah. But they get psychotic inside. Like, it's like,
they're instinctive. If she was safer inside, maybe she'd stay inside.
But they go crazy. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, and I know there are people that have cats that you can't let them outside, and I get it, but that's a neurotic cat. I mean, they're animals. They're not, you let the dog outside, you walk the dog. The cat needs to, so she was, giving some guilt on that. And the other one was, so the cat was borderline overweight. You gotta be kidding me. I'm laughing when my wife told me that. She said, well, you should pick the food up and whatever. The kid, not overweight, borderline overweight.
See, the problem is if I pick it up, then I gotta put it back down.
Yeah. You don't need another job. And my thing is, where I come from, we call that success. That's success. That's a thriving animal, because in nature, right, they don't get a chance. And you didn't say it was a morbidly obese cat. It's borderline overweight. Yeah. That's called success.
Yeah.
Right.
Happy. It's a happy cat.
And the other comment she made was about I guess the cat was kind of grayish. She's a lot of her is white, but she wasn't very white that day because she'd been outside and she gets in the, so basically like I guess, guilting about, well, the cat's kind of dirty.
Outside.
And that's when I wish I'd have been there. And my wife said, "No, I'm glad you weren't. It wouldn't have gone well." But and I've actually we've bathed that cat every now and then, which is not fun.
No, they hate that.
Cats don't enjoy it. You just do it every now and then. Every now and then it'll get to the point where I'll again, and that's the other lie, is that cats are clean animals. Maybe. I mean, they don't smell. I'll give them that. Cats typically don't smell like a dog, but I don't know that my cat got the memo on that, because she'll go just stretch out in the dirt or mud. I mean, just roll around in it, just come in wearing it. Like, she'll come in like stuff on her dusty. We got to, hey, get,
My oldest son is a cat lover. I mean, the dude just loved. There was a time he had, he was eating ramen, and because that's what his budget could handle. But he had insurance for his cats.
That's a new thing too.
Oh yeah,
pet insurance.
Yeah, but so this is when he was, I don't know, I guess second or third year in school or in college, and it was one night late during the week about 10:30, and my phone rang, and it was him, which was odd. And I could tell he was upset. And he said, "I'm at the vet. My cat's really sick." And I said, "Well, you want me to come over?" And he said, "No." I said, "Yeah, well, I'm coming." And so I get there, and he's holding like this paperwork they gave him, like to finance a procedure on stuff. And it's like, man, no, you can't do that. And he says, "Well, it's $1,200. And I said, I'll do it. Like it's that. And I said, "So I'll take care of it, man. Don't worry about it." "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, I got it. We'll deal with it." And then a couple of minutes later, the vet comes in and says, "Yeah, we really can't do anything. We're gonna, the best thing to do is put her down." And I'm like, thank God. No, bro. So it's like, good deed worked out for me.
That's okay. So condolences all these years later on the cat, but that is a good deal, man. And you probably didn't feel 100% you were doing it because it felt like the right thing to do, but man, it feels.
Yeah, no, it was only.
Oh man, yeah. That happens a lot. You I'll volunteer to do something, or just like where I'm like, man, I really don't feel like doing this, but I'm gonna do it, and then something happens, and you don't have to, and I'm like, man, I get the brownie points for being the good guy, and
don't have to. Then he wanted me to bury it for him, because they'll say, "Do you want us to dispose of it, or do you want to bury it?" And it's like I said, late at night, and he wanted to bury it. And I said, "Do I have to take it now?"
No.
And they said, "No, you can come back tomorrow." And so when I'm on my way back there the next day, the thought hits me. So I called them and I said, "So y'all gonna have this thing wrapped, or am I just come and pick up like a loose deceased cat?"
It wouldn't be loose. It'd be pretty rigid the next day.
Yeah, but they had it wrapped, so it was morbid stuff before we were recording. Morbid stuff.
That's not really morbid. That's actually kind of, look, man. I mean, you didn't. Hey, as you didn't slip the vet an extra, 20 to say, "Hey, yo, doc. Let's ixnay on the save here." The dog, my last dog, he's been gone about 5 years, 6 years now. That was the thing too. Had him cremated, but mostly because he was such a big dog. He's a big dog.
You need a big hole.
And I didn't know that I could do it. I didn't think I had any.
A hole to bury something is not a light task.
No, everybody. And so that was that. Happened when I was living in Georgia. That's something that you didn't. We joke about different parts of the country. So you grow up on you grow up on the bayou, and in South Lafourche, if there's not concrete covering something, you can dig a hole. You can dig a hole. You can dig a hole anywhere. I mean, anywhere. It's just the ground. And if you dig,
it's moist.
Yeah, and you dig any deep, you're gonna hit water. I mean, you hit the water table. I mean, it's like it's not. So burying stuff in South Louisiana, not a big deal. I got up to Georgia, and I'm living up on a place called Tower Mountain, and a beautiful area. I loved it. It was near a forest. It's rocks, man. There's some soil, like grass, but you couldn't put half a shovel head. And
that's work, man.
And then hitting. Well, I hadn't moved in very long, and there was a dead. It was either a possum. It was a possum or a raccoon, one of the two, that was dead in my right in my front yard. Right. Don't know what happened. I don't know if it got hit, whatever, but it, dead. And now look, I'm this way too. I will bury stuff. I mean, if I find a dead bird, I bury goldfish. I never flush goldfish. I mean, I bury, bury everything. It just is, maybe it's the Catholic in me, right? We have the proper burials. Yeah. I don't bless them on the way out, but I basically say, hey, nice run. Hope it worked for you. And I went to try to bury this, whatever. It might've been a possum. I tried to go to bury it, and I can't dig a hole. And we had an acre. I walked all over that yard trying to find a place where I could dig. Oh, and I couldn't get anything deeper than, and at some point I'm just like, all right, this is ridiculous, but I don't, so I called, and again, we're kind of new to town. So I called the city, called the animal, whatever. And I said, do you guys pick up dead, roadkill or whatever? And she said, well, is it in your yard or in your on the road? I'm like, why? And she said, well, we pick it up if it's on the road, but if it's in your yard,
it's on you.
It's on you. And I was like,
it's on the road right in front of my house.
Give me a minute. give me a minute.
Yeah, let me know when you'll be near.
It's on the road. We have a neighbor up. Here's what's funny. Typical Cajun. I'm telling a story. I got a point. I got to use my hands, and I'm gesturing like it matters. Like
he lives right over there.
Like what's important is for me right now to point in the proper direction of where his house. My wife pulls that on me all the time. She goes, "It doesn't matter."
Matters to me. It adds value to my story.
100%. Well, she says I get that from my dad. She says, "Oh, you and your dad." My dad would start telling you a story, and he'd come back to it, right? But he'd be in the middle of telling you a story, and then I guess halfway through decide there was something more important he needed to tell you. Right?
My mom would tell stories, and it would always start off with these descriptive characteristics of the people she was telling a story about. And yeah, there was this fat woman, and so I would say,
you can't say that, Mom.
Does that have anything to do with the story? Yes, it does. And then she'd go on and on and on, and it never came up again.
Hang on, Mom. You said she was fat.
What about the fat part? Get my on. Was the response. I said, all right, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any valid points. I
think I'm starting to unravel a little bit of the makeup of Juan.
Oh yeah.
Some of the
I'm much milder than my mother was.
Oh man, that's great. Well, let me finish. Well, so I said to tell my dad. So this guy up the street, apparently he's a good dude. He's a professor at a private university here in Houston, and again,
it's right over there.
Yeah. For those of you, yeah, exactly. So those of you watching at home, it's in that direction. Yeah. Of course, if you're facing me, it would be
the opposite. Yeah.
But he and I guess it's just the educator type, professor type. So I'm sure everything they can have that's electric is electric, because electricity is magic. It just doesn't. It's so much clean. It's just magic. It's magically, it's a magic wall. You plug something into the wall, and
it's coming from somewhere.
It's magic. Yeah. It's just magic. But anyway, so this dude, and this is Texas, man, and we all have St. Augustine grass, right? Mm-hmm. And he's got a lot on a corner without a lot of trees. So my grass grows fast, but I have a lot of trees that sort of slow that a little. This guy could be raising grass to sell. You can have a sod for him, right?
Yours grows fast, but his grows fast, bro.
Fast, bro. You should see how fast that grass grows. You leave for work in the morning, you come back, you're like, what day is this? What day is this? Did you see how much that grass grew? I mean, you can almost, it's coming over onto the sidewalk. It's so, anyway, that poor guy, he's out there with this electric lawnmower, and they're not designed.
No.
You got to put that on the box.
Do they make noise?
Yeah, a little. I mean, you know, not
I guess
like,
you got to hear the blade spinning.
it's more like a hum,
Yeah.
you know, like a, sound effects. But I feel for the dude, man. He's like, he's fighting it. And I don't think one charge would do it. That's the best, right?
You got to cut a little bit every day.
Oh, it's just, and then
when
I
it's
feel
not
for
sunny.
I watch, and I can tell, when I'm drive by or walk by or whatever, I was like, man, you better get on this yard because it's cutting it today is gonna be a lot better than 2 days from now, bro. You ain't gonna, that's the old guy stuff, right? When you think about stuff, I'm solving everybody else's problems all the time, all the time. I mean, I got an opinion on how people put their garbage cans out. I got, right.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but
Right.
I'm telling you what you might want to do.
I think I said that. I said, I want to get to a point in life where I can just walk around being helpful. Walk around, say, you don't know me.
I just want to tell you it's Tuesday and the garbage don't come till Thursday and your cans out here.
And I asked this guy, I said, now help me out here. So I'm going to assume you're not coming on this job. Oh no, I'm the guy that went, okay. I said, is anybody on this job going to be able to speak English? Because, I don't speak Spanish, and maybe it was a little, I don't know if that was politically incorrect when my assumption was going to be that we may not have a lot of English speakers on this job. Well, my assumption was absolutely correct.
Oh yeah.
So one of them spoke enough to make me uncomfortable. In other words, I could understand, but not 100. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, I don't know. You got everything. I was asking, and and then the guy. So the head guy. The head guy's doing what he's doing, but then like the workhorse guy, and these guys are athletes, man. These guys,
Oh yeah, man.
Guy's pulling himself. He's pulling himself up on a rope. I'm so forget the gym. These but he doesn't speak much English at all. And he's the guy I'm trying to explain. And don't take that branch off. Don't. You want to trust. It's really because these are trees, man. These are. My wife used to get.
Yeah. Once you cut it, I can't fix it.
My wife never used to believe me, and I guess now with inflation, it's not that way. But I used to say, listen, I would take damage to my house far better than damage to the trees, because you can rebuild a house, you can fix a house. Tree, big mature trees, you just right. So man, they were out there for like 6 hours, dude. And so I was thinking, I thought the bill was pretty big, but after 6 hours, you just watching.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah.
And you talk about the damage it does to the trees. We had a tree, this was years ago, and it was close to the power lines. So the power company knocks on and says, hey, can we prune your tree? And I said, well, how much are you going to charge? And it's, oh no, we'll do it for nothing.
Yeah, they'll massacre your tree.
And so I let them do it. And basically there was like an L. That's what the back of the tree looked like. Yeah, here was the tree.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that looks like a natural shaped tree. Thank you. But
yeah,
you're talking about not understanding the people. When we were building a pool years ago, I saw this guy. I was leaving for work, and I saw he was turning into my house. I went back, just see what they were doing. And so and they all sub out every different aspect of it. So I tell the guy, I said, hey, what are you here to do? Pool. I said, yeah, but like what part of the pool? Pool. I said, but what part? Like, are you doing the good night? Are you doing pool? Said, all right, my man, you do some good work on the pool. Have a good day.
He just knew if he just kept saying pool, you'd shut up.
Oh yeah, and that's part of the stuff too. It's like, man, how much are they playing dumb? So.
Oh, there've been some. You go out there, oh yeah. All of a sudden, you got to talk to the jefe, man. That's But I'll do that now, and I love it. But it got me thinking about this. So they break. A couple of things I'm gonna ask you if you ever do this, but so they break for lunch, and they all have their own little lunches, and they're sitting on my front lawn, shade, doing whatever, and you kind of feel
Sleeping on the hard hat.
You feel guilty, like, these guys didn't have hard hats. No, I mean, I think the guy that was in the tree may have been wearing safety glasses, and nobody else wore glasses. But yeah, looking around, and we just happened the day before we had some, I guess we had company or something. We had some muffins and chocolate chip cookies and a tray and stuff, right? So I was like, is it manners? I don't want to be, I don't know, should I walk out there? And that's what I did.
Yeah, I'll offer,
I brought him a tray. I brought him a tray of cookies and muffins and 4 Topo Chicos, like, hey.
Yeah, it's we had some people in the house, I don't know, a few months ago. We bought some new furniture, so we were having our old couch cleaned to sell. And yeah, they came during the middle of the day, and it's, you get the estimate that it's going to take 30 minutes. Like, all right, I can come home for 30 minutes, no big deal.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then 30 minutes into it, all right, that's the first cushion. And so everything else they were going to do outside, or when I got to that point, I said, are y'all cool if I just leave? And he said, oh yeah, it's fine. I said, well, then I felt bad because they're working outside. So it's like, look, I got some water, I got this, I got that. What you need before I go?
I'm that guy.
Yeah, so if people are out there,
they're out there long enough to feel like guests. I feel bad,
Can I use your bathroom?
It's weird. They seldom do that. I don't, and I don't
have, out there in the sun, you probably don't need to go.
Yeah, I don't have yard crews or anything. I don't have any kind of regular crews that come over here. But yeah, it's amazing how seldom, like, well, maybe not, like I said, you sweating, you sweating buckets out there. But and then the thing that comes down to is I know how much it costs, and it's not a little amount to have the stuff done. I don't know what they get paid. I don't know what those.
Not nearly what you're paying.
So no, well, right. So then it's like, okay, how do you tip? How do I break that up? Like I'm looking at this group. There's 4 of them. I guess it's 4 of them, maybe 5. I can't give the rate guy the same tip I'm giving the guy that's been. But then part of me is like, why am I having to do? I
don't tip. I don't not stuff like that.
I never used to. I never used to. I got burned last week on a delivery, washing machine delivery. The guys were awful. They were horrible. It seemed like nice enough guys. I gave them each, man, I think I gave them each a 20. I was feeling, I don't know what I was happy to get me a washing machine that worked and actually had water. We actually found one.
You got one?
We got one that's, I guess you can go high efficiency, but you don't have to.
All right. So you can waste water.
Dude, I'm like a kid watching clothes wash. Like, oh, look at all that. Look at the water. It's so wonderful.
Wash this pair of pants by itself.
Oh, like I didn't. I did that with a couple things. I'm like, I'm just enjoying watching suds and water.
But I missed this sock. No problem.
Yeah, these clowns were late. They damaged the machine. I had to end up having to be on the phone for a long time to have a machine. The damaged machine left at my house and then put me down to come replace it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, and they were having a rough day too, apparently. I don't know. But so I end up, I feel bad. So I give them, tips and you have a good day and blah, blah, blah. And they were supposed to take my washing machine, the old one, away. My wife, about 5 minutes later, maybe not even 5 minutes later, they left the machine on the curb. Huh? And I had the guy's number. Man, I called it. I texted. Like, dude, you're supposed to take that machine. Come get that man. Nothing. These guys, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I never looked so forward to when I got the survey. I never fill out surveys. I'm not that guy. I'm not filling out a survey. Man, I got surveys.
Most happy people don't.
Oh, man. I got a survey the next day. I was like wiping the sleep from my eyes first thing in the morning. I go, oh, yeah, hang on.
I got you right here.
I got you.
So yeah, this week at work, I have one of my clients is the Art and Science Museum here. Good client. I do a lot of work for them. Good people. But So they're starting a new exhibit this week. And it really made, as I'm processing their order, putting it all in, I realized how little I know about either art or science. And so, I brought the list home. I printed this morning. Here's some of the names of the things that they have as part of this exhibit. And I'm going to do my best to pronounce some of these things.
Come on, Nickel State. Come on, Nickel State. Come on, man.
The name of the exhibit is Iridescent.
Iridescent.
Yeah. So
does that mean shiny? Iridescent.
Iridescent. It's kind of, you get the pen that changes the colors.
You see, now I guess I'm thinking of something else. Okay, iridescent.
It's kind of holographic type deal. It'll change the color template based on where you're looking at it. So
I don't see what that's scientific, but
Bucuti, I don't know, it's got a Q in it. Prism. Cerularian butterflies.
Okay.
Coleope mosaic alternate.
Oh yeah, I got one of those in my bathroom. Yeah.
Damselfly rush. Iridescent hematite mosaic.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I've got all their albums.
A lot of purple emperor diptych. Ammonite fossil. But then I get to the thing that brings it all home, where it always comes back to, no matter how smart or how, intelligent or how artsy you are, when you're in a town like, like Baton Rouge or anywhere in South Louisiana, LSU football helmet. So there you go. How does that flow right in there with, with the Pulchra prism and the LSU football helmet?
What was that? What you said? The what?
Let's see. This one is Pulchra prism.
He was a defensive back.
The third. Prism the third.
Oh man. So I committed to go. I'm going back to Minnesota.
All right, man. Back to Viking land.
I like that. I know this. So I'm talking to the CEO today. Super guy. I like him a lot. I like any guy I'm talking to, and you can just tell he's like a regular dude. And he dropped a couple cuss words in there, and I'm like, oh, look, he's already comfortable enough with me. He says it one time. He says, pardon my French, but we're just joking about something. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna dig this guy. And but yeah, I'm going up and going to Duluth.
All right.
Minnesota, apparently someplace right on a Lake Superior, I guess. I'm flaunting my non-knowledge of, but it's in October. Geography. It's in October.
So that's like heavy wintertime for here.
I'm hoping it's still autumnish up there. I'm sure it's going to be, cooler, but looking forward to it. And now that I go up there, I know it's a Minnesota group, so I may wear a Saints jersey. I mean, I may, now that I know how much Minnesota hates the Saints, that's most definitely going to be a little portion of the beginning of the beginning of it. But
we're gonna Favre, picture Favre with that big knot on his leg.
Dude, I know what I'm doing now. But no, it's been I haven't been to a game in a while. We're talking before about stadiums and so it's what's interesting, and I've told this story to others about, you can kind of tell how buttoned down certain organizations are. So over the past years, I've had the opportunity of speaking at 3 different NFL stadiums. Now, when I say that, I'm not on, I'm not you two, dude. Right. I'm not on center, I'm not at stadium. It's usually, they all have these clubs and they all have these things. And that's what a lot of these stadiums do during the off season.
Typically when you buy stuff, or when you, like the people who have the big suites and everything, or if you're a sponsor, because I work for an organization that was a sponsor, and part of that is you may get access to a meeting room or a large suite with a keynote.
And these are usually
the stadium.
And so it's 3 different okay. And I've done Denver a couple times, maybe 3 times, but so Mile High, it's not Mile High, it's whatever it's called.
Yeah, what, FedEx?
No, it's Safeco. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I've got pictures. I should remember the name of it, but it's always going to be Mile High, okay, in my head. And then Gillette in New England, and Cleveland. And the funny thing is how you can tell a lot about an organization. So the time I was at Gillette Stadium, and I've got a suit on and everything, and it was an evening event. and the bank's doing their thing and the big social thing, and I'm just killing time. Try to go. I walk out the area and there's a stand. I want to walk down. I wanted to walk down to the field. I wanted to
experience it.
to say I stood on the Patriots field, bruh. You ain't having that. I mean, I didn't take 3 steps. I was still high. I didn't take 3 steps toward the field. They're like, sir. Yeah. He said, no, you can't. Yeah, you can't have access to the field. I'm like,
brother, there's nobody here. What am I going to do?
I'm from out of state.
Feel it?
I'm from out of state. I just want to be here. So I even said, look, I take my shoes off. No. Okay. So that's the Gillette New England, man. They'll button down. All right. Denver. They let us go down with a group. You had somebody with you, and you could stand on the field, but not on not close. So not on any of the playing surfaces. You could, so you could stand in the grass on one little side. All right. So New England, you ain't touching nothing. Denver, we'll let you stand in the corner. The other one's Cleveland.
High class organization right there.
Man, listen, this was 10 years ago, maybe longer. It was probably longer than 10 years. It might have been almost 15
when they were
years.
Probably just excited that somebody wanted to be on their field.
So here's the deal. So they had I spoke in the locker room, which was crazy. So the Cleveland Brown locker room, and which is not a great venue to speak because it's long and narrow, right. And but it was fine. It went great. And then it was a twofer that day. I was doing something with them early, and then there was something somewhere else hours later. So I didn't want to go back to the hotel. I was at time to kill. So we're doing things, and I'm looking around saying, what's this door? And people tell me, I'm dressed nice. Open the door, and it's like the training facility. It's the training tables and whatever. I'm like, nobody stops me. And I'm that guy. I'm going to walk.
If the door's open, I'm there.
Man, I'm going to walk till you tell me to stop. So there's this. Like, okay, this is cool. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, and then I go through another one. It's like a
becomes a challenge. How far can you actually go?
And it's like a hallway. So I'll go down this and it's sort of open. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm in the innards of the stadium. I turn a corner and there's the field. It's just, so I walk out, stadium's empty, and me. I'm like, what? So what am I going to, so I walk out to the 50-yard line, and I'm just standing me by myself in Cleveland Stadium. Like, look at it. I had to call my friend. I had to have a witness.
You'll never guess where I am.
And I walked over to where the dog pound used to be, or is, right? And I said, man, I'm standing like right in front of where the dog pound is. I just needed another human being to because I didn't have a camera back in those days, or maybe I did. I didn't take a picture. I don't know, but I said, you can tell.
Yeah, I'm alone, but I need to share this
because it's like surreal. I can't believe I'm standing in a football stadium by myself. And then I start saying
that part's weird enough.
I'm like, come on, Cleveland. Up your game, Cleveland. Somebody ought to be throwing me out of here. I did that one time at Memphis in the Memphis Grizzlies, their basketball FedEx forum, whatever it is. And I had something, again, the side, and let me see where this goes. And I walked out onto the basketball court. I took that one. I took selfies of myself on the center court at Memphis. Then I realized, I don't know if they let dress shoes on the
on the court.
Yeah, I might get jacked up in Memphis.
Yeah, I've been on LSU field both for events like what you were talking about, attending a corporate event, and then they kind of take you tour the locker room and stuff. Yeah, you walk out there. It's not nearly as cool when there's 30 other people with you. Then I think sneaking on would be a whole lot better.
That's what's weird.
We were at a game one time. This was years ago. It was probably the first time in a lifetime that LSU had beat Alabama. And not the Joe Burrow type wins, probably in the early 2000s.
Right.
And after the game, they didn't care. They'll just walk down on the field. We're pulling grass off the field and stuff like that. So now I don't think, they'll let you on the field for a fee. LSU,
man.
anything is doable for money.
I did eventually I did get to step on Gillette Stadium many years later. It was just great. I was out. It was actually on my son's his birthday. We were on a trip up there, and I'd reached out to randomly. This is when you start. Look, I don't usually ask favors, but I'm not gonna turn them down.
Mm-hmm.
And my son's a soccer fanatic. Loves soccer. And New England has a soccer team, I guess MLS or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And okay, myself don't know. I just knew we were going to be in town. I looked at it. Lo and behold, on the Saturday that we're there, they've got a home game. That's awesome. So here's what I'm thinking. I wonder who the sponsors are. I wonder who the official bank of that club is. Pull it up. I know a guy there. Luckily, a senior guy. I kind of reached out to him and said, "Hey, man." Next thing you know, I said, "Hang on, I got my assistant." And I didn't know what it was. I thought he was going to get us. I'm sure it was going to be decent seats. Yeah. Dude, it was on the field. It's like there's a. You go and they have signs. You have to watch for the ball. You can get hit with the ball. You're on the field. You're on the field. It's like it's you're not in the stadium. You're on the field. And my sons are there. They're just they know the guy. It was great. But back in my head, I'm thinking, where's that security guard that kept me out of here 10 years ago? I want to see that guy. Where's that guy? I'm going to be down here pulling. Me? Yeah, I'm going to be pulling grass. How you like me now, bro? Hey.
Spit. You come clean that up, bro.
That was a great trip, man. I like Boston. Boston's one of my favorite cities.
I've never been.
I like the attitude. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's the history. It's everything you learned. Big sections of the history you learned. I don't know if they still teach history in school, but back when they did, it's all, most of it's there. I guess Philadelphia has a lot of it. Boston, man. Boston.
That's where it all started.
Yeah, so, and we had same different friends set us up with. We got some Red Sox tickets, and I mean, really fantastic seats. And I totally blew this, man. We were there for a while, having a couple beers, and the boys were young, and I wasn't thinking. Around the 7th inning, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and you guys want to go? Yeah, we gotta go. So me and the boys get up and go to the bathroom. Well, I forgot. We're in the bathroom for the 7th inning stretch in Boston. Well, what do they do? And 7th inning stretch, Sweet Caroline, man, it's famous, it's iconic, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, trying to hurry up,
zip up, boys.
You don't want to like scream at your kids like, come on. And then we finally got out. We got out enough. We caught like the back end of it. It's really because it's sold out. It was really a good time. And we got back to the seats. My wife was funny because she didn't know that was a tradition. She was just like, you wouldn't believe what they just did. It's like they all started singing this song. I'm like,
but it's odd that it is a tradition in Boston. Is Neil Diamond from there?
No, I want to say here's Mr. Dave just randomly grabbing a couple of facts and seeing and thinking they might make sense. Sweet Caroline was written about the Kennedy, one of the
Kennedy. All right.
You know what? That is totally me pulling that out of my back end. I have no idea.
Sounds good, man. Look,
right?
Sometimes
I'd go with that, right? If I was having to on the spot make up a lie.
Here's the deal: sounding good, saying it is half the battle. I used to do the TV news on Cablevision, whatever it was. We'd have those little 5 o'clock or 5-minute inserts in the headline news. And I did one.
I forgot those.
Yeah. And I guess the blessing and the curse where I could read copy, cold without preparing. So I did a story, and it was the last story of the newscast. And I, led into it by saying, and on the lighter side, and the story was about some dude had caught I don't know if it was like, kind of a sailfish or whatever. But when they reeled it in, it cut his head off. And that was literally the story. And I read it with confidence and lightness throughout the whole deal. And that's when I started saying, as long as you sound good saying it, man, that's all that counts. Yeah. So there you go.
It's a happy time. That dude was having the best day of his life till he lost his head.
Right.
I mean, up until the decapitation part.
Right. It was a great day.
Dude.
That was probably the biggest fish he ever caught.
And this is where I think we start to wrap it. Because we were going to go down.
I won't make any more dumb comments.
We're going to go down another path. We're just we're getting terrible. As bad as we are opening, we're getting bad at closing. It's like, well, how was the podcast? I don't know. We had a long open and a long close, and
yeah. The podcast was 5 minutes. Closing.
Had some 30. Stupid stuff in between, and it worked out. But anyway, hey, we're glad to be here with you, and glad you joined us. If you want to reach out to us, we love hearing from you off of social media where everybody reads it. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. Just send it, and I promise you we will read it and usually respond. Yeah.
Tell us what you think of us. How good are I? We threw some strong Cajun in there today, so give us some compliments on that. We're all over social media.
Man, all over
Facebook, YouTube, where you can subscribe and get the video.
Yep.
Or the top podcasting host in the world. Apple Podcast. Am I coming up with that? And Spotify. So no matter where you are, you can catch us. Yeah.
Spotify had to add bandwidth. They had to add bandwidth when we jumped on.
That's right. Yeah, it's blowing up.
Oh, geez.
Check us out. Share it. Tell your friends.
All right. Time to get everybody. Hey, this is a blast. It's more fun when you're here with us, and we thank you for being here. I'm going to say wildly, let's do it again Monday.
7:02. Going for 7:02 on Monday.
Get here early, get comfortable, get a good seat, and we'll start rolling. All right. Everybody have a fantastic week. You too, man. Love you, buddy.
Back at you, bud.
Bye.
Yeah. Pets. What are you going to do?